GamingBolt presents 15 things that only FPS gamers will understand. Every video game genre seems to follow its own set of logical rules. RPG fans understand that killing more things is the path to becoming stronger. Hack and slash fans understand that racking up stylish combos is important, for reasons. The same goes for FPS fans, so here are 15 things that they'll understand better than other players. Constantly reloading. Maybe you don't really do this when picking up a first-person shooter for the first time. However, you quickly learn that there are fewer annoyances than reloading in the middle of the fight, so as time goes by, you reload constantly. Fire one bullet, reload. Kill one enemy, reload. Again, it seems crazy, but it could save your life. Not wasting rocket ammo. It's crazy enough that the player can carry numerous weapons, let alone something like a rocket launcher and a shotgun at the same time in many FPS titles. But hey, it's a video game, and when building a loadout, knowing the best use for each gun is important. When engaging with fodder in Destiny, Borderlands, or Doom, you usually rely on the assault rifle. The heavier weapons, whether it's the Sleeper Simulant or BFG, are reserved for either really big enemies or room clearing in an emergency. It's just more efficient in the long run. Enemies equals right direction. Crazy though it may sound in real life, looking for enemies is often the best way to know where you're supposed to go in a first-person shooter. Because, of course, if you didn't kill it, well then that's the way to go, right? Well, except in games with respawning enemies like Destiny and less obvious enemies like Prey's mimics and so forth. Of course, playing tic-tac-toe with enemies that are still alive can lead to the next point. Only one way. Look, we're not dissing the speedrunners who cleared Prey in a few minutes or whatever the record currently is, but in first-person shooters, there's usually only one right way to go. Half-Life, Titanfall 2, Wolfenstein 1 and 2, the list goes on. There are different ways to approach an objective or open up one's path at the very least. The key to killing. An offshoot of the enemies indicate the right direction approach can happen when keys are added to the mix. If the path forward has been effectively closed off and you've searched for the solution everywhere, do the next best thing. Kill everyone. Enemies going in the right direction, enemies going in the wrong direction, everyone. One of them has to have a key, or the magical death breath that unlocks the door. Probably not advised for non-hostile NPCs, but hey, give it a whirl anyway. Headshots deal more damage. But scoring headshots in an FPS seems to be the best way, but the concept of them dealing more damage can be a little absurd. Even if a bullet to the gut doesn't outright kill someone, you can bet they're not getting back up anytime soon. Then again, considering many foes can wear body armor, the head does seem like the most vulnerable spot to aim for, like in Fear or Rainbow Six Siege. Movie set levels. There are games like Titanfall 2 which make players parkour through enormously epic structures to progress forward. Then there are games like Destiny or even past Call of Duty titles where levels are little more than attractive movie sets with neat backgrounds and limited interactivity. Bungie has begun to get a bit more organic with its level design in Destiny 2 Forsaken, so some progress is thankfully being made. Latency and hit registration importance. Many of us who play Overwatch's competitive mode and log in for our bi-monthly 10-loss placements are aware of how important latency can be. After all, high latency can ruin just about any online experience. For a hardcore fan of multiplayer shooters, latency, hit registration, consistent frame rates, and so on are incredibly important. Just a few milliseconds can mean the difference in victory or defeat, while faulty hit registration can result in that one essential headshot not scoring a kill. Gun archetypes. Nearly every shooter follows a common weapon pyramid. No matter which first-person shooter you play, there will often be a submachine gun, assault rifle, sniper rifle, rocket launcher, and shotgun archetype somewhere. Seeing a shooter build on these archetypes is a real treat, whether it's Half-Life implementing a scoped crossbow, Half-Life 2 introducing the gravity gun, or any of the wackier weapons found in Borderlands 2. Bows are the best. Bows have been teetering on the edge of becoming a default weapon archetype for years. Ironically enough though, they can also be some of the best weapons. Look no further than Hanzo's Stormbow in Overwatch, or the bows in Destiny 2 Forsaken, which let you temporarily see through walls or fire electric bolts. Along with fairly high damage, bows also have the advantage of being silent. So don't delay, use a bow today, except at Riven. Don't use a bow in Riven. Quickscopes and no-scopes. If you've never tried to quickscope or no-scope an opponent in an FPS, you're missing out. Picking up a sniper rifle, a fundamentally long-range weapon, and trying to instantly zoom to shoot someone is impractical for sure. Trying to shoot someone without the scope is doubly impractical, we agree. But still, it's fun and immensely satisfying, especially when you score kills. Recycled enemies. You've probably cruised through the campaign in Destiny 2 Forsaken or just about any shooter and wondered why the enemies are recycled. There's a few unique foes and they usually end up being bosses, which makes sense because all the smaller foes are going to be fodder anyway. Why give them a lot of personality if they're not going to live that long? Less emphasis on cover. Remember Killzone 2 and how much it emphasized cover? Yeah, it was a first-person shooter, but cover was just as important as mowing down tons of Hellghast. However, cover mechanics haven't really been big in the genre, at least not on the level of most third-person shooters. Maybe it's the reduced field of view or just being more practical in third person, but as games like Rainbow Six Siege have showcased, having some kind of cover mechanic can be useful in an FPS when done right. Regenerating health. It's dumb that your health should come back after a few seconds out of battle, but still it makes sense because it's a video game, darn it. Games like Battlefield 1 and even Call of Duty Black Ops 4 with its health items are kind of the exception, but they follow the same principle. You're not going to suddenly stop fighting when shot. If anything, you're just going to rip something apart with a glory kill for health in Doom, or gnaw the bullet out of your shoulder in Far Cry and keep going, because of course you would. Campaign motivations. Let's be honest, you're either playing a shooter specifically for the story, like with Prey or Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, or you want the achievements and trophies. Maybe the multiplayer servers are down and you've got nothing to do. Even in a game like Borderlands, the story isn't nearly as important as the loot, so let's not kid ourselves. And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily. Also, don't forget to switch on the bell notification icon, that way you don't miss out on any of our videos.